Okay, so we'll get rocking and rolling. I'm going to mute all of you as I do at the beginning of class, and then at the end of it, we'll reunite with some voices, and we'll see how that goes. So let me just mute you. There we go. Lovely. It is so good to see all of you here today. I'm just it's midweek. Sometimes it feels like a hump, sometimes it feels like a high, but as long as we have each other, we're going to do okay, and that's really where it sits with all this COVID stuff, that the community, right? So you're in the safety of your home, I'm in the safety of my studio. Thank you for being here today. Namaste. So some of you know that I get up quite early in the morning, and it's sort of funny because the sun, of course, in Canada isn't rising until, I think I'm like looking at it at around 7 o'clock. You can start seeing the interesting hues in the sky. And because I sit at a bird's eye view on the 20th floor overlooking the river valley, I get an opportunity to see all the beautiful colors and the different things that are going on in the city. I literally sit there with my cup of coffee every single morning, as I'm an early riser, and I have an opportunity to almost watch the city come alive. And I absolutely love that. It's a part of my day. People are like, how the hell do you get up at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock every single morning? I'm like, well, first of all, I'm going to bed super early. Second of all, I really love that quiet time because the city is very chill. However, across the street from me this morning, there's a building that's been there, obviously. It's kind of quiet during the COVID times. It's a professional building. And so in the dark, anytime a light comes on in a building, it sort of shines a little bit, and it draws my attention over wherever it is. And so all of a sudden this light pops on, and it's sort of like a corner office that I can see, but because it's dark outside, I can't make out exactly what's going on, but I see this person and I kind of assume it's a woman. It looks like they have a ponytail, but I can see them very shadowy like. And so I start looking as I'm sipping my coffee, kind of feel like I'm a voyeur, but I'm like, no one else is up, so I'm gonna check out what this person is doing here. It was quite early, like 6 o'clock. And I see a movement that is a little bizarre. He or she is like standing what I thought was in an office space and kind of doing a movement where they were reaching down, kind of kitty corner, and then turning and putting something up. And so immediately my mind starts going like, what the heck are they doing? I thought, well, maybe they're in early to do some kind of like workout. You know what I mean? So you touch down and you reach up and you touch down because they kept doing it. And then I thought, well, maybe they're rearranging their office, grabbing stuff from below and moving it to a shelf up above. And my mind went to a few different things, and I thought, how funny is it that it is human nature to look at a situation and to perceive that we know what's going on. It is very common of us to read people inaccurately. The truth is, I had no idea what the hell this person was doing, whether it was actually female or male. They could have been hiding body parts somewhere, and I would have just seen this movement thinking from my own experience, oh, they're probably working out, or they're probably clearing out. Maybe they're moving or creating some storage, because that's my experience. That's the movement that I would relate to, for instance. But who knows? There might be something completely different going on in that world. And how often do we read people or think we know where people are at in their minds, and we are wrong? I'll give you a very, very simple example of this. In my family, one of the things that used to drive me crazy when I was younger and I first moved out was that I was wondering why my parents weren't like keeping in touch with me. Here I am, I'm like, okay, I'm an early adult, why are you not like calling? They'd be like, because you're always busy. And I was like, but I'm not. But the perception that they had of me, and they used that word consistently, was, you're always so busy. But that was completely inaccurate. I always had time to have conversations. It was just a matter that sometimes, maybe in that afternoon when I'm actually at work, where a lot of people are, it was impossible for me to pick up the phone and have those conversations. And I thought, no. And so I would say, no, I'm not busy. Please, call, let's have this communication. And it never happened because their perception was I was always busy. We do this in relationships. We do this in friendships. We do this in business. We won't ask the question, I am interpreting this. I am seeing this. I am confused by this behavior. Instead, what we do is we allow our ego, because that's ultimately what it is, to perceive their actions, usually about being against us. Oh, that person didn't message me because they don't like me. Maybe not. Maybe something happened in their day, which sometimes does happen, where they actually are just so busy and they're feeling so flustered, and then by the end of the day, like, oh fuck, I can't reach out to anybody. I just want to be by myself and do my thing. That's an actual real personality type. But if we're not that way, we can't understand why somebody wouldn't be getting back to us. So what I'd like to do today in flow is to sit with ourselves and acknowledge that we don't have all the answers, that our perception can sometimes be wrong. I'd like to give people the benefit of the doubt. I'd like to be inquisitive and have inquiry and question and ask in love, are you okay? And is there something that maybe I've done? Have I maybe missed the mark on something? And inevitably, they might be like, oh, no, it's nothing to do with you. It's something to do with me. And then you get dialogue going, and then honesty starts to happen. We sit in a world of judgment. We sit in a world of, I know what you're thinking, and it's just simply not true. We need to let that go. We need to really allow others to be who they are and simply ask the questions, because that's what communication and connection and friendship and love ultimately is about, right? So let's come to our comfortable seat, okay? So let's let our sit bones kind of rock on the earth side to side. And then your knees open up, and if you need to lay down or do whatever you need to do to make this more comfortable, then of course you do that. And we'll take our shoulders and we'll roll them up and we'll roll them down. And let's do that again. You're gonna roll them up and you're gonna roll them down. And then maybe allow your head to just move gently side to side, and eventually you'll land it in the center, sort of where your shoulders, in between all that space, and then allow your head to pull back in a pillow point, and the eyes can close. We pause here with so much gratitude that we have an opportunity to engage with people in a positive way, to get to know people and to know this quality within ourselves that it's okay not to know what's going on with someone else. And that's why we ask. Communication is king. It's so important that we also then possibly reach out to other people when we are not okay, to let them know, especially the people closest to us, what's really going on. So we breathe into this trust. We allow our breath to flow in such a way that it brings us into a place of openness and peacefulness and relaxation, just letting it drop into the very base of us. So I'm asking that you don't just breathe into your belly today, for releasing some anxiety and just kind of that nervousness that we get at times. And I think we also are picking it up just from energy from others and the world around us, is to breathe into your base, which means you're taking your breath and moving it further down the body into the hips, into the pelvic floor, into the place where ideas and thoughts and values and belief systems, they take root in that area, and we want to shift things up if it's not working for us, right? And then when we exhale, you can feel your whole body moving to the midline, like your perineum. It lifts up a little bit. You can feel your sit bones moving closer together. The belly draws back in, your rib cage softens, your chest depresses, and the breath moves out away from you. You let it all go. Because we don't need to hang on to anything. We don't need to actually have control in this moment. We simply guide the breath in and we guide the breath out. And we use this practice for ourselves to better, to move through what we don't want to stay stuck, to feel more mobile, to open up our minds, and to become closer with self. So let's bring our palms into heart space and allow your chest to reach up into your thumbs and your thumbs back into your chest. And we pause here with so much gratitude, so much love, so much awareness. We'll open with a single cleansing breath. Take an inhale. Big sigh. Inhaling to Om. Beautiful. Allowing your eyes to slowly open, looking down towards the earth. And then we'll allow the gaze to shift forward. So lovely. Let's give ourselves a moment, move on to our mat into a wide-kneed child's pose. And for those of you that are watching on YouTube today, so nice to connect with you. Let's get onto our mats. My name is Becca Pati, and we will join each other for this the remainder of the flow. So give yourself a couple of moments, slide on back. I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna move my mat back a little bit here so you can see me. Awesome. So you give yourself just a couple of moments to get into that wide knee child's pose. That means the knees are wide and your feet are touching, so the tops of the feet are anchored down to the floor. You might try to slide your bum a little closer towards your heels, allowing your arms to sort of outstretch if that feels good. Maybe you soften the elbows down and find a place where your head just relaxes in between the arms. You might even notice the space between the eyebrows. That's the third eye, and I love to roll that out as much as possible because I find, especially now, I am stressed. So this creates a ton of tension, therefore it blocks our intuition when we're constantly in sort of almost like this stressed out adrenaline mode, right? We want to let go of some of that. So give yourself permission to roll it around a little bit, see how you feel. Then you'll take your hands and reach them even further forward if your elbows are not up off the earth already. And then you'll come on forward into a half push-up position with the knees wide. Keep them like this. Then take your toes and lift them up towards the ceiling so you're kind of on your knees and your hands. Keep the bum closer to the earth as you exhale straight down to the floor. Okay, you can also roll down. Keep the shoulder heads away from the earth. Then release your toes, tuck them under. If you're coming from the knees, you keep them down. If not, you're lifting up. I'd like you to come right back up into an upper push-up position. Take it into a wide leg downward facing dog. So your feet are as wide as your mat. And allow your hips to settle up and back. And I get it, we need to move this shit around, right? Like I feel very sticky in the morning, especially if you're from, Canada, allowing those hips to become warmer, allow your back to sink and then lift it up, let your shoulders find mobility. Then eventually come on forward into that wide-legged upper push-up position. Walk up your right hand towards the top of your mat slightly. Spin so that you're on the inner and outer edges of your feet and elevate up your left hand. Now the option is obviously to lower down your bottom knee, okay? Otherwise, you extend up your left hand, reaching towards the ceiling, opening up your heart space just a little bit further. Try not to sink into your shoulder. Lift on up. Use the strength of your body. One more big inhale. Exhale, everyone. Bring yourself all the way back down. Hands underneath your shoulders. Feet stay wide. Go back into a wide leg downward facing dog. Now just take a look at where your feet are. Can you walk them up a little bit, like just a couple of inches? So that you're still in a downward dog, but your heels are closer to the floor. Then take your right hand and walk it to the center of your mat. Take your left hand, bring it to the outer edge of your knee, your shin, or your ankle, and start to spin your heart towards the right, looking underneath your armpit. So I'm actually pulling on the outer edge of my leg while I'm grounding down with my right hand, looking towards the right. You can also do this on your knees. One more big inhale. Bring it to the other side. So take your left hand down, press back. Keep your sit bones lifting up and back. Reach your hand to the outer edge of your ankle, shin, foot, and start to look underneath your left armpit. And as you're looking, rotate around. You might get an adjustment on your spine. I just did. See how that feels? Yeah. Woo! One more big inhale. And then eventually bring yourself all the way back to center. Your hands will come as wide, once again, as shoulder width. Then come forward, wide leg upper push-up, so you might have to walk your feet back a little bit. Then take your right knee down to the center of the mat. Spin this open, back foot lands to the floor. Inhale, up goes your left arm. Exhale, let's round and curl like a barrel. Bring your fingertips towards and underneath your armpit on the right side. Inhale, unroll this. Take your left hand up. Exhale. Inhale, unravel. You got this. Opening up heart and belly and chest. Keep your breath moving. Exhale. Last time. Inhale, rise this all the way up. Take your left hand back down to the floor. Spin this into tabletop. Tabletop with a, we're opening up the heart. Inhale, reach your left hand up, thread the needle. Take your arm through. Slide your shoulder down to the floor, let your head touch down so your bum is sticking up. You might just keep your right hand to the ground. If you've got a little bit more space, take your right hand up, hand to the low back, or bring your hand all the way to the inseam of your left thigh. Now, can you roll open a little bit further? Keep your left fingertips spreading towards the floor. One more big breath in. Nice. Beautiful. Then eventually bring your arm all the way back upright. Take your hand back down to the floor. Reach yourself into a tabletop and hold it out here. Tuck your toes under when you're ready. Eventually, your knees will lift up a couple of inches. So you're actually tucking down your spine. So notice if you're kind of like hanging or your bum is like way up in a weird downward dog shape. Keep your shoulders over your wrists, let your knees stay very low to the floor. Hold here for 3. Yes, hold here for 2. Okay, 1, take it to a nice easy child's pose, knees down, tops of the feet to the earth. And maybe you're still in that like wiggle and sort out the hips mode. Let your bum settle back and then let your heart drop down towards the floor. So just stay there, giving yourself a little bit more freedom. Maybe you are pressing your forearms into the ground and sort of getting that extra mobility into the hips and see how that feels. Nice. And then eventually you'll walk your hands forward. Get your knees as wide as the mat. Kind of like that half push-up position with your knees wide like we did at the beginning. Then your bum drops down. Point your toes up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring yourself straight down to the floor. Or roll down. Hold here. Come back up. 2 more. Nice. Beautiful. I can see you. Exhale, come down. Or I can see some of you. You're doing great. And then bring yourself coming up. Let's go one more time. What the heck? Let's bring it down. And then keep those shoulders back. Come all the way up. Now we're holding here. Take your toes as wide as the mat once again. Reach your hips up and back into that wide leg downward facing dog. I have hair everywhere on this mat. I'm not sure what's going on. It obviously is winter and I am shedding. Okay, so we're coming forward into that wide leg upper push-up position. Spinning. So take your left hand, walk it up. Let yourself move to the outer and inner edges of your feet and take the arm up nice and high. Beautiful. Maybe you're shifting the gaze all the way up as well and just see how that feels. Nice. One more big inhale here. And then exhale, take both of your hands all the way back down underneath your shoulders. Spin on those toes. Press back into a wide-legged downward dog. Up and back we go. Okay, walk your feet back in a little bit. We already did something similar to this. So you're still in a downward dog, but it's like a short downward dog. Then I want you to slide your left hand across to the center of the upper part of your mat. Now take your right hand, press back, take right hand and tap the outer edge of your knee, shin, ankle. Then take your fingertips and tap the top of your mat on the right side. Exhale, go back to your leg. Inhale, fingertips tap. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. Then take your right hand, slide it where your left hand was. Now your left hand reaches to the outer edge of your right. Bring it back. It goes towards the left corner. Bring your fingertips or hand towards the outer edge of your thigh on the right. And then bring your fingertips up. You don't even have to actually touch your leg. That's fine. One last time. Bring your hand towards the leg. Bring yourself back to a regular downward facing dog hand positioning. Then come forward, take your left knee to the center of the mat. Start to roll this open into a modified side plank. So take your right hand up. Yeah, are we all good? Everyone's there? Exhale, round and barrel curl. Inhale, open. Exhale, twist and ring out. Inhale, rise. Exhale. Last time, take that inhale, reach it all the way up towards the ceiling, drop your palm down towards the floor, spin yourself so that you're in a tabletop shape for a moment, then reach up your right arm, away we go, thread the needle, yes. Arm goes through, shoulder comes down, head comes down, look towards the left, then roll it up. Maybe your arm reaches up to your low back, or you bring your hand all the way to the inseam of your right inner thigh. So we're all moving in the same direction. Beautiful, letting the gaze elevate if that feels okay. We're not going to pain, but we're going to, kind of sometimes there's an uncomfortable spot in the back. So really acknowledge where your breath is moving to at this time. Then inhale, take that hand up. Your left palm grounds down to support you. Bring yourself all the way back up. Now tuck your toes, you're in a regular downward dog. Away we go, up and back, all right? Here we are. Nice, and then take your time. However you want to travel, come up to the top of the mat. Inhale, peace fingers to floor, hands to shins, half lift. Exhale, take it forward fold, let it go. Come up to standing, so we're gonna rise. Up, up, up we go. Palms to touch. You'll bring it down and towards the heart space. Beautiful, let's circle the arms around again. Inhale, rise. Palms to touch, hands towards the heart space. Interlock your palms, take your right knee all the way up and in. So you're gonna roll out the ankle. This is very important. We cannot underestimate what getting rid of all the creaks and cracks actually do for our body, right? Okay, so let's take our knee out to the side and take our left hand long. Perfect. Okay, so bend up your elbow and allow your arm to be kind of in that 90 degree. Exhale, bring the two together. Yeah, so it's kind of like cat-cow. Inhale, open this up. So really be proud. Exhale, bring it together. Inhale, open this up. Last time, take elbow to knee. Hold here. Slowly reach your arms open as your leg starts to kick back, warrior three. So you're already halfway there. Now, if you're finding that your leg is really low, lift your chest back up a bit, okay? So that you're kind of in the same line from your head to shoulders to ass to heel. So everything is fully in alignment. Holding here, that right leg is extended, your toes are facing down, your gaze is slightly ahead of your mat. One more big inhale. Slowly come all the way up, palms touch. Knee comes up. Cross your foot all the way over. So your option is to have your heel against your pinky or a little bit further forward and then come down into a forward fold, getting into the IT bands and the outer edges of our hips because we hold a shitload of tension in there, don't we? We really do. You know what I'm noticing about this time is that there's so many people that certainly it's like we're just a little more judgmental. Maybe not you guys, but it's like we're assuming we know everyone's motivation. Everyone is, doing something that's not quite in regulation. You know what I'm saying. We've all got a bit of judgment going on here, right? And so I think there's something really great about just paying attention to ourselves and being aware of what allows us to feel whole, healthy, and happy. We don't get to judge other people. Doesn't help us at all. It actually makes us feel shitty. Let's get real. It just does. So we're letting our head hang down low. We're moving maybe back and forth on our legs a little bit to kind of get deeper into the areas that we need it the most. So one more big inhale. And then slowly walk your hands up your thigh. Inhale, the arms come all the way up. Palms come into touch. Take your right knee, lift it up, step it back into a lunge, big step. Inhale, reach your arms up high. Take your right palm, flip it up. Take your left hand, grab on, and go over to the left hand side. So I like my knee soft a little bit so I can take my bum and kind of tuck it under. It gets into this hip flexor area, which is sometimes, like, honestly, I find it a really hard place to stretch effectively, okay? So we can do it in a lunge. You're still strengthening this thigh, you're stretching this leg, and we're over in a side bend, which intensifies. So if that doesn't work, come back up. Then you've got the option of lowering down your back knee or whatever you need to do, but we're taking this into a full twist. So elbow goes to the outer edge of your left knee, and we're twisting towards that side. Yeah, maybe you've got the accessibility to open your wingspan up a little bit. Hold here for 3. Holding here for 2. Nice, and then for 1, palms come all the way to touch, hands to either side of your front foot. Step it back, upward push-up. Exhale, chaturanga or floor. Rise it, get those shoulders back, lift the heart forward. Upward dog cobra, downward facing dog. Awesome. All right, come on forward, upper push-up position, shoulders over top of the wrists. Walk your feet back enough that you can drop your knees down successfully without your bum being in the air. Take your right forearm down. Take your left forearm down. Then your option today, ground your palms down and you can lift those knees back up. Okay, so from the side, we want to make sure that we don't have this situation. This is not helping our core at all. We take that bum and we tuck it under. You kick your heels back, you bring your heart forward, and you are stronger than anything. Ground those palms down. Not this. That's called breaking your back. You're actually kind of arching your spine under. Okay, so one more big inhale here. Let's drop to the knees. Let's go child's pose real quick. So point the toes away, walk yourself back. Let your bum come down towards your heels and let your head come down towards the earth. Just find a little bit of relaxation there for a moment. Nice, and then come on forward, once again, upper push-up position. Shoulders over the wrist line, tuck those toes under if you want to lift right up. Away we go, hold here. Now from here, you can either choose to lower your knees down once again or do it from an upper push-up. This time, left forearm comes down. Right forearm comes down. Hold it out here. Puff up that upper back at your core, super strong, belly button pressing towards the low back. Your tail is tucked down. Your legs are strong. This is not just about your arms. This is about the lower half of your body. Hold here for 3. Yes, hold here for 2. Then take your knees down to the floor this time. Walk yourself back. Gate pose. Right foot goes out to the side. That whole leg extends. Roll your shoulders back. Inhale, arms wide. Nice. Take your right hand down, lean over. Hold it out here for 3. Beautiful. Hold it out here for 2. Getting in intercostals. Let all of the body open itself up. And then eventually bring yourself all the way open. Option A, fingertips, palms down. Lift up your right thigh. Outer edge of the leg is active. Open up your arm. You can stay here. You can also bend your knee and grab onto your foot if you like. So you can move into a knee dancer type position. Getting into that hip flexor again, the heart, the belly. Open this up, lift the gaze, kick into your hand. Yeah. Engage, right? Like, this is what it's about. We need to move the body so that our energy can finally get unstuck and start releasing. One more big breath in. Nice. Then slowly release if you have your foot. Let it go to the side. Arm comes up. Both knee goes side by side. Take yourself down. Inhale, come up. Shoulders over hips, hips over knees. Bring your hands interlock from behind you. And if this doesn't work, take your fists, Bring it behind you and let your heart pop up. Very proud pose. Keep your chin in. Look up a little bit. Yes, beautiful. One more big breath in. And then slowly release your arms. Palms come to touch. Use your hands or not. Take that leg out to the side. You want your foot in line with your knee. So watch that your leg isn't too far up or too far back. Okay? Then open up your arms and take that side bend up and over. Just a little side note. Sometimes talking and doing these poses is a little challenging. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I'm doing this, right? Okay. One more big breath in. And then take those arms all the way open, option palm or fingertips, whatever you're more comfortable with, to the floor. Inhale, take your left leg up. Ooh, yeah. If you've been sitting a little bit, this ass is gonna feel it, right? You can bend out your knee, you can grab onto your foot, get into the heart. You can even drop the foot behind you and roll open if grabbing your leg is just not accessible. You know, we can always find a way to move. Lifting the gaze. Big breaths in and big breaths out. Allowing your belly, your perineum, your heart, everything is like moving. On the inhale, everything expands. On the exhale, everything contracts. Good, and then kick that leg up. The arm can reach all the way up. Beautiful, then you take both of your knees back in. Rise up. Inhale up. Beautiful, exhale, come forward, sit on your heels. Arms come back behind you, forehead maybe touches floor. Inhale, rise. Little bit of core, right? It takes a lot of core to roll yourself up. Exhale down. Arms back. Mobility in the shoulders, last time. Inhale all the way up. Yes, exhale, hands down. Then walk forward. Tuck your toes under, downward dog. Okay. So take the gaze forward whenever you're ready. You're stepping, taking a little hop, whatever you would like, to the top of the mat. Inhale to a half lift. And exhale, forward fold. So we're looking down at our big toes or our ankles, moving our feet only a fist width apart, inhaling into Uttanasana. So we want to give ourselves freedom in the back body, exhaling, forward folding. Shoulders move away from our ears. We want those shoulders back. More weight into the base of the toes, grounding down the big toe mounds, spreading out the sit bones. One more big breath in here. Nice, and then eventually, inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Come up to stand and take that swan dive. Up we go. Nice, hands work themselves into the heart space. Awesome, inhale, arms rise out to the side and up we go. And as you bring your hands into the heart, you're balancing now on your right leg as we interlock our hands around our left knee. So use a wall, do what you need, right? Roll it around, get into the ankle joint. And then take your knee out to the side. So your knee is gonna go out left, arm goes right, bend up the elbow. And now we're in this 90-degree scenario. Exhale, bring it together. Here we go. Lots of breath, right? Inhale, expand. Exhale, bring it together. Inhale, expand. Last time, here we go. So exhale, bring it together, hold here. You're low. Slowly, leg back, arms wide. Expand, warrior 3. Take it into flight. Allow your hips are pretty even. We want the second toe, like that. Those toes should be facing down, not out to the side. So notice that rotation. It's a bit more challenging. Good, one more big inhale, you're here. And then come all the way back up, knee comes in. Take your foot and cross it over. So you've got your ankle. It's not pinky toe to pinky toe. It's actually ankle or heel, kind of to the outer edge of your pinky on your right. Inhale, arms come up, and then exhale, let's take it to forward fold. So this is just about letting it go. Finding some release in the outer edges, in the IT band area. Letting your head hang, let your ears drip further to the floor. Tension be gone. Yes. All right, and then slowly you can start to walk your hands all the way back up. Inhale, arms come up. Palms touch, hands come into heart space. And now you've got it, your knee comes up and you're stepping this leg all the way to the back of the mat. Awesome. Then inhale, arms up, and flip your left palm up and take your hand around the wrist so your right hand's grabbing on, and you're sending yourself over. So we want the tail under, slightly bent knee, so it's almost like you're kind of popping forward your left hip, just that little extra bit, and then you can really get into some beautiful spaces, okay? I mean, you don't have to. You can just be like, whatever you want to do. But hey, if you want to kind of get in there, all right, let's take it to a full twist, yeah? So you can option A here, this is always there, right? Option B, you've got your elbow, freaking here, you got your elbow on the outer edge of your knee, your palms are touching. You can even open this up a little bit. One hand kind of comes down, the other hand comes up. Pausing here for 3, holding here for 2, and then for 1, you can take your hands together, palms touch either side of your front foot, step it back, upper push-up position. We're flowing, chaturanga or floor. Remember, chaturanga is just 90 degrees, don't go lower, okay? Take yourself upward dog cobra, downward facing dog. Inhale, right thigh goes high to the sky. Gaze it forward, step it up, right foot. Keep your left hand where it is and spin. Good, hand comes down. Step it back, upper push-up. You have your option. Keep your right leg lifted. Exhale, chaturanga or floor. Upward dog cobra. Downward facing dog. Inhale, take your left leg high. Gaze it forward, step it up, left foot. Beautiful, right hand stays, spiral this open. Hand comes down, step it back, option, keep the toes to the earth, left leg elevates, chaturanga or floor. Rise it upward dog cobra. Downward facing dog. Inhale, take your right leg high. Step it up, right foot. Left hand grounds, inhale up. Exhale, hand down. You have your options. Chaturanga or floor. Upward dog cobra. Okay, downward facing dog. I promise just one more. Here we go. Inhale, left leg goes up. Step it up. Rise it up. Hand back down. Elevate that leg or not, chaturanga or floor. Upward dog cobra. Downward facing dog. Whoo, okay. I think I need a child's pose. So let's come up, take those knees wide, point the toes, and take it into a quick child's pose, okay? Letting it go. Letting your head relax. Woo. Slowing down the breath. If like me, it's kind of gone a little bit away. In my own personal practice, I mean, I like to do a lot of fun stuff, but I don't actually flow super fast like that, like one breath, one beat, all that often, so that's always fun to get the heart rate up there, right? Okay, let's take this into puppy pose. So as you come up a little bit, take your knees underneath your hips, in the direction that your mat is kind of facing the corners. Walk your hands out. So your bum is sticking up in the air, your arms are out, and you can either take your chin to the floor. Some of you with, take your forehead to the floor. And then if you have more mobility, then you take your chin to the floor. The chin can tweak the back of your neck, so please be careful if you have injury. So this pose here helps to open up the chest muscles when we're at the computer. Because you're kind of doing the opposite of what you're doing when you're sitting and working, right? Okay, one more big inhale here. And then slowly, be careful as you come up, yeah? So walk your hands back. Downward facing dog. Let's get ready for pigeon, all right? So up and back we go. Inhale, your right leg goes high. Gaze it forward, upper push-up, knee goes to the outer edge of your left wrist. We're taking that thigh down, back knee touches earth. Slide away your left leg. Let's go proud pigeon, yeah? Up we go. Option A, hands lift, arms open, arms up. Exhale forward, let it go. Hands down and move yourself into your shape. As we slow things down, we give ourselves permission to ultimately just chill out. You can keep your elbows to the earth, you can let your forehead touch down, and really, it's your mobility, but if you're really leaning on your left side, can you shift it slightly so that it's the outer edge of your right hip that's actually getting a little bit more of that movement, okay? I like pigeon, you know, like I don't like it. It's not like, yeah, I can't wait to do pigeon. But it's really effective. It actually is in getting open. So you guys are talking about, some of you, the hips and sciatic and just even sitting. The way that the external rotators of the hips work is that we need to be moving them open so that they have less tension around the hip joint itself. Yeah. So one more big inhale here. And then eventually you'll walk yourself all the way back upright. Let your bottom settle down onto the right hip and take your leg into seated tree. So your left leg goes all the way around. Figure out how you want to draw in that right foot. It might be further down towards your ankle, or you might have it all the way up. And then we'll take an inhale, reach our arms up high. And now you're coming forward. So you know the drill, right? You've done enough yoga. You get it. If you got to bend up your knee because your hamstrings are killing you, bend up your knee. There's going to be more yoga classes. So give yourself permission to be where you need to be. I think what I just said triggered something. Another thought is when we give ourselves permission to be where we need to be, we also are accepting the fact that we're not perfect, and we're also moving on a journey that others can't quite possibly grasp or understand, whatever we're dealing with, right? So then in that way, we give ourselves that permission, then we can look at other people and give them that grace as well. I don't know what you're going through. So unless we have dialogue, I'm not going to assume. I'm not going to make it about me, because shit, man, I got my own stuff going on. I think that's just a beautiful place to be in, right? Like, especially with ourselves. It's okay to have tension. It's okay not to have done yoga for a while. It's okay to not have worked out. We have to be kind and compassionate. This is where the magic of healing happens. People in life have been harsh enough with us. We don't need to do that to ourselves at all, okay? One more big inhale. Good, and then roll your spine up and take your left leg in front of your right. So now we're in easy cross-legged. Inhale, arms rise, take a twist to the left. Come on forward, reach your arms up. A forward fold. So maybe you're just like, I'll stay upright, just let the head hang. Maybe you're coming all the way down. Nice, one more big inhale here. And then when you're ready, let's start walking our hands all the way back. Take your legs to the right, so you actually continue sort of sweeping in that direction. Hands touch the earth, and eventually we're back in a downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg goes high. Come forward, knee goes to the outer edge of your left wrist, angle up that shin, pigeon pose. Take the back knee and walk it back just a little bit at first. Then we walk upright. So if you have back pain and you have your leg way far away from you, it is very hard on your low back, okay? We need to walk that knee in and actually hinge from our knees, not our back, okay? And then you have the option of arms to the side, arms up, or on the floor. Here. One more big breath in here. Yeah, well done. And then take your hands down to the earth, slide away the back knee, and now we walk our arms into a shape that feels good for us. So we hang out here and we feel that left hip. Maybe you gotta back it up and actually roll on your right side more. Or maybe you're like, yeah, I really wanna feel this left hip. So a way we can do that is energetically drop into your left hip, and then the crease of your hip, could you pull it to the back of your mat a little bit further? Like you actually slide your hip crease back, and then you move your heart forward, and wow, do you ever intensify this movement? Okay, so one more big breath in here. And then eventually we're walking our hands all the way back upright, falling over on the left-hand side gracefully, letting your leg come all the way around. A seated tree. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, take it into a forward fold. So you hold there. And it's not about getting your face to your knee. I mean, no, because you know, you can round your back and most people can like pull their face close to their knee. Think about as you're moving forward, we want to get your face beyond your knee to your shin eventually, even if you're hovering above it. It's like an arrow, you're shooting your spine and head and neck forward, okay? Rather than just down. So one more big inhale here. Nice, and then eventually you're rolling your spine up, taking and bending out your right knee, bringing it into easy cross-legged, yeah? And then reach the arms up, spinning to the right. One more breath here. And then spin it all the way back to center, arms up, and let's forward fold. So eventually we're walking ourselves into this shape. We give ourselves permission to drop in. And then eventually, let's roll our spines up and work it into a reverse tabletop just to sort of finish in the morning, more so on like an opening before we roll down to the floor. Our hands come back behind us, our feet come out in front of us. Keep your knees active, push your big toe mound down. Option A, lift your heart, lift your bum, lift your hips. Watch that you haven't rolled to the outer edge, your knees are pressing forward, your head is pulling to the back of your mat. One more big breath in here. And then eventually, bring your bum all the way down to the earth. Yes, extend your legs, and when you're ready, roll it down to the floor. So as you go all the way back, I'm just gonna come up a little bit here. Okay. So wind reliever pose, you're taking your right knee in towards your chest, extending your left leg long, and again, you're rolled down to the floor. I'm seated up. Seated up, I'm sitting, is what I mean. I'm seated up. So you're bringing your right knee in and you start moving it around a little bit, side to side, yeah? So stay there. Notice how that feels. Right, like what is it that is kind of sticking in that spot? Is there anything? Nice. And then you have the option, you can take your left hand to the outer edge of the knee, right hand goes long, and shift your hips over and start moving into a laying twist with your knee facing left. Or you can move with both of your knees together. Or, you know, if you maybe like reverse eagle or eagle, and you start that process of moving into your twist. And hold there. Maybe it feels good to kind of close the eyes a little bit. And like as we draw down, our breath starts moving deeper and deeper, longer and longer. Quiet, right? Nice. One more big breath in here. And then eventually you'll bring yourself all the way back onto your belly, back onto your back body. That would be a weird transition to like flip onto your belly. And then take your knees in. Let's go happy babies. So as you're laying down, you have the option of just having your knees in, or you can flex out your feet and go to the more traditional version where you're grabbing onto the outer edges of your feet and sort of rocking a little side to side. Then you might even play with like extending one of your legs, bringing the other heel in, having that extension in the thighs, getting into those areas that I promise you get super tight. You know, as we're sitting, right? There's a lot to think about when we're opening up the hips. It's not just about the hip joints. It ends up being about the thighs, about the hamstrings, hip flexors. It's like the whole unit, right? And then bring yourself all the way back to center, and then when you're ready, you can bring in your left knee as it's already there and just extend out your right leg, wind reliever pose. So again, you're on the earth, shoulders nice and neutral, letting your head relax as your knee is moving gently side to side. Love it. Yeah. Great. And then you can start the process again of taking your hand and bringing it to the outer edge. As you move the knee over, maybe your arm extends out, and now you move into a twist with your knee facing the right hand side. Yeah, and you can take your knees together. You can do eagle, reverse eagle. It's kind of whatever allows your hips to feel, pretty relaxed. What we don't want to do is to lay in this position with any type of pain, right? Discomfort or uncomfortability is generally not too bad, but let's not go to pain. Nice, and then again, bring yourself all the way back to center, hugging your knees in towards the chest. Rocking a little side to side, and let's seal this practice in. And so we're bringing our forehead up to the knees, saying a positive little statement, and then eventually laying yourself into Shavasana. So as you are down, I will be up. And if you have any other poses that you like to do at the end of a class, I love that. Do it. It can be anything, little bridge. You can even do Shavasana, legs up the wall, right? That feels nice. Yeah, and so I won't leave you here long, but as you start to settle in, we allow the head and the shoulders to relax a little bit. We'll let the palms to be face up, and can you just let your fingers curl out a little bit? Can you notice if you're still carrying any tension in your low back and in your hips? Can you release some of that? And you might know that by just even flipping your feet a little bit to the side, meaning like if your feet are facing straight up, you're probably squeezing something in. Naturally, when we lie down, our legs kind of go like flop open, right? So maybe that's something that you can just check in. And I'm just going to leave you for a few moments in silence and bring you back when it's time. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om peace, peace, as you slowly start the process of bringing your mind and body back into the room, back into the body where we can wiggle our toes and our fingers and allow possibly even our neck to move a little side to side. That good morning stretch, the arms come up above the head, lengthening them out to the back of your mat, toes moving to the top of your mat, arching your back, whatever feels good. Then we'll get you to roll over on your right or left side, whatever feels best for you. So there's no right or wrong, whatever ultimately gives you the most comfort. And come on all the way up onto your seat. So I'm going to be asking you all to unmute. You can choose if that's what you want to do. And then we will all say our closings together. There we go. So we'll take our hands into the heart space, lift our chests up and roll our shoulders back and close the eyes, and we will finish up today with a single cleansing breath and a single Om. And you can always feel free to listen or to join in, whatever feels more authentic and organic. Take an inhale, let's cleanse. Big sigh. Inhaling. Let's Om. The divine light in me witnesses, sees, and loves the divinity within each one of you. Thank you so much for joining today. So much love. Namaste.
Namaste.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Thank you so much for joining today. What a fabulous flow. You were such an inspiration today. So I want to say thank you. And yeah, we will see you very soon. I hope that you have a great day. It's a good start, right? It's a nice start. All right, beautiful. All right, we will see you very soon. Much love. Okay, bye. Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for joining my YouTube crew. You know, it's always a nice time where we can spend this hour together. So you have a fabulous rest of your day as well, and I'll see you very soon. Much love. All right. Bye.